Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And the big story ahead for today is the flash flood watch that we have up in effect for northern New Jersey and areas New York City, Long Island, at least all of Nassau and half of Suffolk County under a flash flood watch, as well as the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and parts of southeastern New England. We also have a heat advisory up for inland southern New Jersey and southeastern Pennsylvania near the warm urban areas from Philadelphia and also even extending down into northern Delaware. It's going to be hot and humid, particularly as you go south and east south and west of New York City, where temperatures are going to reach up today in the 90s. More on weather in just a second. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town, omnitruevalue.com. And Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs. And they're at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst. Also on Long Island, 631-957-5106 is the phone number, and the website is liholidaylighting.com. We had actually quite a bit of rain that moved overnight across upstate New York, and you can see that area of rain is moving up to the north and east. And meanwhile, you head downstate and point south down through Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania into Virginia, and then running up northeast to Long Island and southern New England. We're just kind of on the edge of some cloud cover this morning, and the warm sector is setting up, and that's going to set up the other issue for today, and that is that the Storm Prediction Center has much of the area from northeast Virginia to southern New England and southern New York State at a marginal risk for severe weather. Now, this was the overnight forecast. I suspect that when they do their forecast updates today, that they might even add an area of slight risk cutting across the middle of this marginal risk zone in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, might even extend a slight risk over into New York City. The dynamics seem to be here for a round of severe weather. And one of the important factors today with respect to this is the fact that we had a ton of rain last week. This is 7-day rainfall amounts. The brightest yellow starts the 2-inch or more rainfall, and the reds start 5 inches or more of rainfall. These are 7-day rainfall amounts. And if you remember, we had 3 severe weather outbreaks last week, and of course, Tropical Storm Elsa. The ground is saturated. A lot of this area didn't have a whole lot of sun this weekend to kind of dry things up a bit. The humidity has been very high. So the threshold here for flooding is pretty low. So if you get a thunderstorm that produces a quick couple of inches of rain, there's going to be flash flooding for sure. The radar this morning, and this is as of 7 a.m. Eastern time, you can see the rain up in New England, and then there's a little tail there that runs down through the Hudson Valley and into northeastern Pennsylvania. That's pulling out to the northeast, and then we'll get the mechanics in the atmosphere that will set up for thunderstorms late this afternoon and this evening. But meanwhile, at least for this morning into this afternoon, from southern New England down through Virginia and North Carolina, there's really nothing going on. So as far as showers around during the daytime today, most of the daytime today is going to be a dry one. Rainfall forecast amounts from WPC. Now, this is over the next 7 days. The bulk, but not all of this, is front end loaded, but we're showing anywhere from 1.5 inches to some places, some small areas there, northern New Jersey into eastern Pennsylvania, 2.5 inches of rain. Further north, it's about 1 inch, 1.25 inches of rain. Again, because of the saturated ground, the threshold for flooding is very low. Now, with respect to where we're going in the overall pattern for this week, and I just want to go back to last week, we keep getting these troughs dropping into the eastern part of the United States. And the latest one, of course, was responsible for Elsa moving up the East Coast. That upper trough has pulled out, and we have a big upper high that built over the weekend and continues into the first days of this week on both coasts. We have one off the East Coast and one off the West Coast, and there's a trough in the middle, which is where you're getting a lot of action with respect to thunderstorms and precipitation. Well, moving through this week, gradually that ridge is going to start weakening a bit, and that's going to allow the flow from Canada to begin pushing further south, particularly over the weekend and into next week. And that's when we might get a bit of a break in this humidity regime, this high humidity regime that we've been in, and maybe get a day or two where the humidity is a little bit more reasonable. But until then, and likely through the weekend, we're really not going to see too much here in terms of a break. So as far as today is concerned, we see temperatures that are going to reach the mid 80s to low 90s for highs. The further south you go, the higher their temperatures will be. We'll get into some thunderstorms this evening. Models oftentimes are not really very good at showing the exact development and the extent of development in thunderstorms. So you have to go with what the mechanics are showing and then wait to see what the radar pops up later today. We have a little frontal boundary and a little high that builds up in New Brunswick there, and that is going to stall tomorrow, literally right over from the Catskills down to New York City and just south of Long Island. So south and east of here, you're going to wind up seeing temperatures reach up into the 90s. North and east of that frontal boundary for tomorrow, temperatures will be in the 70s to around 80. And that, by the way, justifies the Storm Prediction Center's risk area for tomorrow, which is a little bit different than today. It cuts off right around New York City, runs down just west of the Hudson River to New York City and coastal New Jersey, and extends down into northern Delaware. So areas to the west of that line have risk for severe weather on Tuesday, but to the east of there, because of a bit of a marine flow and some stabilizing influence of the atmosphere, we're going to wind up seeing probably no severe weather, but there could be the odd thunderstorm or two. The main risk both today and tomorrow, by the way, from these storms will be heavy rain and the potential for some strong gusty winds. And then on Wednesday, as the warm front pushes all the way up and we get back into the hot and humid air, we'll have the chance for some pop-up storms come Wednesday. There's a little upper trough that moves on through here, so the GFS is a little more dynamic with those storms late in the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, very hot days. We'll see mid 80s to low 90s on Wednesday, and temperatures Thursday and Friday, which should be the hottest days of the week, will be in the low to mid 90s. And then come the weekend, we'll see if we can get a more important weather front to approach from the west. Looks like one gets close on Saturday, but stays mainly inland, and then gets even closer to the coast on Sunday with a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Basically, the best way to describe this is just sort of typical mid-July weather with a lot of asterisks involved in terms of the potential for severe weather on some days versus others. And of course, the overarching issue is the fact that the ground is saturated in a lot of areas and that flash flooding is a possibility. So just bear that in mind. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 6317-561125 is the phone number there on Long Island for the best prices in town. And the website is omnitruevalue.com. And Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs. And that's whether you want to get your home decorated or you might want to do this as a business come holiday time. And they're at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, New York, 631-957-5106. liholidaylighting.com is the website. So the job today is to keep an eye on the radar. In the meantime, it's another very warm and very humid day. And we'll have more on this on the Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight on my YouTube channel at 8:30 Eastern Time. Have a great day.